What's up guys, ahhh here, founder, CEO at Mescula. What you are about to see is a recording of one of our lead calling game show slash core review calls that we host for our private clients every Thursday inside our 7-figure SisuAgent program. And on this specific recording, our CSMs are basically doing core reviews of calls that they have made to call the leads that we've been generating for our clients. There is one lead that is basically, when Emmanuel is calling, is saying like, hey, I don't know who you are, I didn't sign up for this, I don't want to sell my property, etc, etc. And he's taking that lead from that state to like, hey, I may have a couple other properties that I also want to sell, let's meet. So it's a super valuable session, and there's bunch of golden nuggets. So hopefully you'll get value out of this. And if you don't know who I am or who we are, my name is Eetu. As I said earlier, I'm the founder and CEO at Mescula. We help licensed real estate agents scale to 7 figures with consistent opportunity flow across the US and Canada. We work with over 200 agents up to this date, and yeah, what we're doing and loving the clients we have. Yeah, as I said, hopefully you'll get value out of this, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, let's get to the video.
Hello, welcome. In this call, everyone, we're going to be reviewing a few call recordings that Emmanuel has prepared for us. I'm guessing some of our partners. And what we want to ultimately do, and the goal for these calls, is to get you guys to making these calls in the best way possible. How do I talk to these people? How do I convert? How do I go in their homes and get to listing these houses, right? So what are the best approaches? What can we start doing on our calls and maybe stop doing on our calls? And also, after, if we have time, which is the plan, Manuel is going to do something amazing for us, which is a bit of live dialing on the call. So we're going to do a little bit of all that. I do want to welcome everyone who's first time. Ivan is back with us. We're super glad to have Ivan here. And yeah, everybody that has joined, welcome. And Emmanuel, let us know if we have those calls set up and ready to go.
Alrighty, thank you so much for the introduction, Kieran. Great to see everyone here on the call. Evan, great to see you. There's only a couple of calls that I want to review today. Some of the most common objections that we get might be that, hey, forget it, I didn't sign up for this, I'm no longer interested. And these conversations, nobody really wants to have them, right? Whenever I have to talk to someone on the phone where they say they're not interested, where they say, yeah, I wanted at one point, but don't need anymore. I just want a rough figure. How do we do it? How do we create more urgency? How do we convert more calls to appointments? I see a couple of faces I haven't seen before. So just before we start reviewing any sort of calls, I want to let you know, this call specifically on Thursdays, we did something similar to this a couple months back. We are trying to get out in a different way this time around, but also want to remind you guys, there are other coaching calls throughout the week with some great people. Next week, we have a special guest. Tomorrow, we have Barry Jenkins. So yeah, just want to remind you guys, there's tons of coaching calls throughout the weeks, and we do tons of different things on all of them. So let me just share my screen. I will share a couple of calls with you guys. The first call I want to review is a call I had. I don't think they've joined just yet, but if Lydia's here, this is a call that we had with Lydia. So this is a lead that came to the system. The AI reached out. There was no confirmation from the lead. So we wanted to give this person a call, see if we can help them out, go out, give them a visit, and give them a proper home valuation. So I'll play this call first. You guys let me know if you can hear it, and then we are going to dissect it.
Hello?
Mark, hello. This is Emmanuel calling from the DeSantis Group. How are you?
From where?
The DeSantis Group. I believe we were in touch about a month ago. How you doing?
Good.
Good to hear. Well, hey, I just wanted to give you a quick ring.
Just going to pause quickly. When I told him, hey, we were in touch about a month ago, the lead came into the system a month earlier. I actually sent him a couple of messages. There was no interaction. Lydia missed the lead. I told him we were in touch about a month ago.
I am just wrapping up a meeting with my team leader, Lydia, and we're going through all of our contacts. It seems here that you were actually in touch with one of our team members, Ashley, on June 26th. Reason why
I'm having a hard time hearing you. You're on a hands-free phone?
Yeah, let me see. Is this better at all?
A little bit, yeah. What was it regarding? I don't remember.
So basically, you sent us a message through Facebook about your unit on Gray Street. We're actually going to be heading out to Gray Street. We have a listing appointment later this week, and we would love to swing by, see your place. So I just wanted to see what your calendar was looking like.
For what purpose? I don't remember with making this phone call to you guys. What was it about?
Yeah, so you were looking to get a home evaluation for Unit 3.
Yeah, and I'll just do a quick pause right there as well. We are going to hear this a lot, right? Where people might say, I don't remember signing up, or I didn't sign up, or I find it incredibly difficult to believe that we have their full name, their number, their email address, their actual home address, verifying that it is the same person, saying, hey, Jason, Emmanuel, Karen, is this you? Yes. And then them saying they didn't sign up. So we have a few seconds going over, hey, I didn't sign up. You guys are about to hear that. And then we're going to get into the appointment towards the end of the call.
Getting a home evaluation?
Yeah,
Really? Because I don't remember ever calling anybody about that.
I have the text conversation here. It seems that you were texting one of our team members, Ashley, on June 26th, and you asked to call around midday. But this was last month in June. Not sure what happened, but yeah, just wanted to give you a follow-up call right now, see if you have any sort of plans with the unit.
June 20. No, that's why I don't understand why, because we're not selling or anything right now. June.
Sorry, I keep on pausing, but I want to make sure I'm adding commentary to this. The person, I asked Mark in this case, hey, so just want to give you a quick follow-up call to see if you have any plans with the unit. He says, no. That's why I'm wondering why you're giving me a call, a home evaluation. I don't remember requesting anything. At this point, almost 2 minutes into the call, most of us, myself included, we start feeling a little bit uncomfortable. We start feeling like the person on the other end of the phone doesn't want to talk to us. They don't know who we are. Why are they still speaking to us? We're still having a conversation. And at the end of the day, that's all we want to do, right? Have an actual conversation. Most of the times there's going to be a barrier. People are going to have their guard really high up. And that's the case with Mark, right? He does remember, he didn't sign up. He's confused. No, I didn't request anything. No, I don't have any plans. Here, let's listen to the next few seconds.
June 26th. I've made a call. June 26th.
June 26th. Here, actually, here's what I'm going to do. Let me send you a text, see if the conversation pops up on your side. I'm just going to say hi.
Yeah. I was June 26th.
Yeah. Do you have any sort of text conversation? I have it here on my end, but I'm wondering if maybe somebody else then had your phone, or...
And I
can check with my wife, but I don't think so. I'm not looking at selling the house or anything, so I don't know why that call would have gone in. Because that's what you guys do, right? You're real estate?
Yeah. We work in real estate.
He said something that we never want to hear. I'm actually not thinking about selling the house. You guys are real estate, right? He's not thinking about selling. Within the next minute, he's going to flip and he's going to tell me that he wants to sell.
Yeah. That's really strange.
Well, yeah, definitely very strange then, Mark. So with you and your wife, no plans on making any sort of moves, whether it's this year and maybe in the next couple of years?
Well, possibly in the next couple of years.
I'll pause it once more. I usually try to do this, right? How do you bring their guard down? People, even though they're thinking about selling, even though, yes, they've thought of it, they've talked about it with their spouse, with their family, all the emotions attached to it. So what I usually do is, Mark, so any plans later this year, maybe in the next couple of years, sometimes I might say maybe in the next few years. When I said in the next couple of years, his immediate response was, well, actually, yeah, maybe in the next couple of years. Okay, let's break that down. What does the next couple of years look like? And it ends up turning into...
I've got 2 pre-construction properties on the go right now, one in Angus and one in Creemore, so I'm looking to get those sold, and then, we're going to see what kind of profits we make out of that, determine whether we want to move from where we currently are now to this is a townhouse into a single-family dwelling.
Gotcha. So with these pre-construction units, how far along are they?
The one in Creemore.
It's a sensitive topic for a lot of people. They don't like sharing it, right? They don't like feeling pressured into anything, into moving out of their home.
I think the possession date is early February, but I have the option to assign that location. It's funny you should call because I was just talking to them yesterday and to give them a call back today.
Okay. Funny I should call. Exactly. We are going to have this conversation. I've had this conversation hundreds of times where the person never signed up. And then towards the end of the call, right now we are halfway through the call. Oh, I'm glad you actually called. The guy has properties that he's currently working on. He needs to sell his current property before he moves into another one. Let's wrap up this call and then we'll dissect the whole thing.
Today to find out when the assignment dates can go into effect. It's a condo. I think it's a 1,200 square foot boutique type of condo. It's 5 stories, 30 units in total, I think, per building or something like that. It's not a big one. That's 2 stores, 2 together in Creemore.
Gotcha.
And then the other one is a single family dwelling in Angus, but I'm in litigation right now because the builder last year told me that they wanted me to give them another $150,000.
Well, it definitely seems that you have a lot of things currently on your plate, Mark. Here's what I wanted. We still have that listing of...
Mark was talking about everything that's important to him, about his current property. I try to relate just by telling him it seems like you have a lot on your plate. Here's what I want to do, and that's one other thing. Sorry, I think it's maybe John. You might have your microphone still open. But here's one thing I usually like to do, and you guys, if you have been on any sort of coaching, for sales calls, for real estate training, you have probably heard, let's take control of the call, take control of the conversation. What's the way we can take control of the conversation? Just telling people what we would want to do, right? John, I would love if we did this. John, I think we should do this. You're sending something out there, but instead of, hey, is it okay with you if maybe we put this in I would love to do this, John. And I'm telling them, hey, I would love to visit you. One other thing you guys are going to hear on the call, Rick, great to see you. I'm bringing up Rick because we just did this. We talked about this earlier this week with him. One approach I always have is if I want to visit someone on Friday or on Saturday, I'll tell this person, Rick, I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood Friday. I have a listing appointment around 5 p.m. Should be wrapping around 5:30. Since I'm already in the area, I would love to swing by. It's the approach I usually have whenever I want to set an appointment. And here, let's wrap this one up.
Appointment later this week on Gray Street. So I would love for us to still run a few numbers, send those over to you. I would love to get you in touch.
If you want to, if you're already here,
Yeah.
doing stuff on Gray, is it in the same townhouse complex that I live in? Like I'm in 5520 Gray Street.
He asked me if it's in the same apartment. I have no idea. I hopped on a call with somebody from an area that I'm not even familiar with, right? I'm on a Zoom call with Lydia. Again, Lydia's not on this call today. I don't know if it's on the same apartment complex. I saw the address. I looked it up on Google. I don't know what I said here. What did I say?
Oh, you're on 5. I'll do this. I know it is on Gray Street. Not sure it's the same one, but I can have Lydia, my team member, my team leader, confirm that with you. So we'll run the comms since we're already running them on the same street, and I'll have her get in touch with you just to confirm everything.
Listen, if she's already in the area and you're not making a special trip, if you want to come and just give an idea of what the value of the house is right now, and that might give us some better ideas to what we want to do probably within the next year or so.
Okay, from not wanting to sell to a couple of years to the next year or so, everybody, and I've said this a bunch with Karen on the call, with a bunch of other people here in the same program. I've said this, that there is absolutely no reason for anybody to wake up one morning, scroll through Facebook, scroll through anything online, see something about what is my home worth today, click on it, give me their name, their number, their email, their address, fill out all this information, and for them to never even think about selling their home. It's just, I find it very difficult to believe, right? And after having thousands and thousands of conversations with different people, one thing that I realized is just this. It's strangers, right? Nobody likes talking to strangers. We grow up being told, hey, be careful with strangers. Now somebody, a random person, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who Emmanuel is. Why is he calling me? How he has my number? How he has my address? Why am I going to share my personal life? If I want to sell my home, if I want to move, if I want to do this or that. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, right, before you break down those barriers. But this call, I definitely wanted to share this call because of that whole transition. The first 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes of the call were a little uncomfortable, where the guy says he didn't sign up, where the guy doesn't remember having a conversation with Ashley, right? People forget if it's 1, 2, 3 messages, a text message, it might be the biggest deal, right? If, you know what, forget it. Don't do this. Don't contact me again. People might be pissed off, right? In this case, I don't remember him being pissed off. I think he just never interacted with Ashley, never sent a text back. So we might have people like that in the system, right? Saying, hey, they never responded to the call. If we have that, right? If people don't answer a text message from Ashley introducing herself, it's okay. All we have to do, we have to give people a call. If we have an uncomfortable 60 seconds, if we have an uncomfortable 90 seconds at the beginning of a conversation, that's okay. These are strangers. We're strangers to them, right? One thing I suggest, I've talked about it with a few people on this call, bombs. I love sending bombs. I love sending looms. I love sending videos out to people before I give them a call, right? As soon as they register, I love sending out these videos, introducing myself. A quick 10-second, 15-second video just saying, hi, John, hi, Karen, hi, Paula, my name is Emmanuel. I received your request for a home evaluation through my Facebook page. Just wanted to send you a quick video to introduce myself, let you know I'm going to be reaching out later this week. Expect a call from me. That's it, right? 12 seconds, 15-second video. I email it to them. By the time I give them a call, they probably already saw the video. If I want to double check if they saw it and only call if they saw it, I get a notification through Loom, through BombBomb, saying this person saw your video. Great. Now I know that they know who I am. They know that I'm going to be giving them a call and they can expect it. We have about 60 seconds left on this call. I think we just set up an appointment for like Friday.
And if, where is your office located?
Where is my office located? I had no idea. And again, maybe my bad, but I'm jumping on with different clients. All I knew was I was in Burlington and I told them,
You're in Burlington. We're here in Burlington.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not that far from where we are.
No, not that far. And so here's what I'm going to do, Mark.
a lot of times, and I'll just mention this, a lot of times we are very worried before we hop on a call, wanting to do all the homework of the property, wanting to know everything about the property before we even contact this person. And I think that's great. I think that's absolutely great, wanting to be well informed whenever we talk to someone, wanting to make sure that we're providing value to people. The truth is we have very limited information online, right? And nobody knows their home like the homeowner. So it's okay if you guys don't know everything about the property before you guys give them a call. All we want to do is have a conversation.
Let me get back in touch with Lydia. I'll start running the numbers for Unit 3 then. And when would be a good time? Today's Tuesday, and we have the appointment on Friday, I believe. We should be wrapping up around noon since we're meeting them at 10:30. So,
Let me just see
are you
what
guys-
my schedule is on Friday. I know I'm working. Friday, yeah, I'm not working until, I don't have to be in the city until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're in the area and you want to buy Unit 3 at 520 Gray, Lydia or yourself give me a call, and you can before Friday just to give me a heads up, and then I can make arrangements to be home when you guys when you're around.
Let's do it. All right. So I'll start running the numbers. I'll have Lydia give you a call, and we'll stay in touch. We'll see you soon, Mark.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Awesome. And there we go. We wrap Mark up. With this call, a couple of comments I have for myself. Again, after hearing the first 2 minutes of feeling a bit of an awkward conversation, I would have probably tried to pivot out of that earlier, right? You don't remember me? No worries. Let me reintroduce myself. We can always do that. But when we are on the spot, when we feel the pressure, when we feel the awkwardness building up in the conversation, and we feel the other person pushing back, saying, hey, I don't want to be on this call. I don't know who you are and why you're giving me a ring. Yeah, it's easy for us to say, okay, never mind. Well, sorry about that. Have a nice day. That is the easiest thing to do, right? Have a nice day. Sorry for bothering you, and forgetting about Mark. Mark, just like many other people need help. People need guidance. One other thing I always like to remind myself of is that most people buying and selling homes, they're not always keeping up to date with the market the way we are, right? What just happened in their neighborhood? What happened on your street? What's happening in your city? Right? Are prices up? Are they down? What is going on? So this is where we come in. This is where we provide value. This is where we can keep them posted with any sort of activity that is relevant to them. From this call, there's one more call I definitely want to go over, but before we jump into that, from this specific call, if anybody has any comments, any sort of feedback, the whole purpose of this meeting. And hey there, sorry, I see your microphone's open. Might want to put that one on mute. If anybody has any comments from the call, if anybody had any similar conversations on their end, I would love to hear it and get a conversation started. Does anybody want? Hey, Patty, yeah, for sure.
Hey, so I just want to say you're awesome. How quick-witted. You know, my head, I think better like a few minutes later when I come up, oh crap, I should have said, you know, because you CYA'd a lot in there. And as much as you had BS, you still weren't BSing them because you seriously had a live person to go over there, meet them, and talk to them about selling the property. And so many people I've found in the years I've been doing this that they will tell you or you try to sell you on that they have a buyer for your house when they really actually don't. They may have a pool of buyers, but you know, people believe it. There's a 72 sold in our country that's starting to go around, and he's, in my opinion, some of the stuff they say is kind of not true. I know a guy that's in it, and when he gets to the house, they think he's got this big old bag of cash, and he's going 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and he's going to give it to him right there and say, here's your house, here's the money, you can buy in your house, and you can stay in it for as long as you want, and I'll see you whenever you want to get out, and things. And that's just, I'm all about being truthful in this stuff. So tried a lot of people, and you guys come through as no BS and just, you know, you're real. You want to face to face with us. It's, you know, and it's hard to have. I like that you have so many opportunities for us to get to meet up with you. If we can't meet you 4 times a week, at least we can do it once or twice, because I always learn something. So thank you. Great job.
Oh, Patty, thank you so much for sharing. And totally, yeah, with the opportunities for learning, just like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, I personally enjoy listening to others, right? Whenever I'm sharing calls for myself, I feel a little awkward. Why am I saying this? Why are other people listening to me? It's hard. It's hard opening up. It's hard sharing with others what we do. But just like again, I'll bring Rick up because we just talked about it this week. It's a little awkward. It's a little awkward when we are sharing our calls. And at first, if we're not used to having other people listening to us, be on the spot, have someone, you know, critique the call that you just had, right? And again, if anybody has any comments on what they would have done, how they have handled these calls in the past, or any questions about the call, let me know. The whole purpose of these Thursdays calls is to remind each other that we are not alone on an island. Everybody's having the same conversations. Most of the leads, most of the people that we interact with, they're going to be very similar. They're going to be very similar because they're all in a very similar situation. Whether you're in the States or in Canada, interest rates right now hovering around 7.5%. Everybody's feeling pressure from a different sort of end. Everybody's worried about similar things. So just want to remind you guys, there's a huge community of people. There's like 10 people, 12 people on today's call, and we're all having these very similar conversations. And just before I start playing the next audio, any other comments, any other questions? Has anybody had a call similar to this?
So sorry I was a little late because traffic was kind of crazy at the early call. So I wasn't in on the beginning. Did this guy actually book an appointment, or he was just opted in and didn't respond?
This guy opted in and he didn't respond. He didn't book an appointment. All that happened in the conversation was Ashley sent him the initial message, no response, follow-up message, no response, no interaction. And the lead, I think they ended up going to disqualified or long-term nurture, something like that. The point is, the lead hadn't been touched in a whole month, right? and a lock can happen in a month. Somebody else could have called them. They could have, depending on the urgency, they could have listed already. But the guy at the beginning of the call, Rick, all he said was, I don't remember talking to anybody. I'm not interested. I don't want to sell. And I just digged in a little deeper as in, well, maybe not right now, right? But in a couple of years, did you think about selling? I don't remember how I phrased it. And let's go ahead and listen to the second one. The second one is a little different. The second one is with a guy named Lawrence out in Maryland. Let's listen to Lawrence. Let's meet him.
Hello, Lawrence.
Hello? Yeah?
Lawrence, this is Manny calling from Samina's office over here at Keller Williams. How are you?
Keller Williams.
Yeah, I'm giving you a quick ring because I noticed that just a couple days ago you were on Facebook and you saw one of our ads regarding working on a home evaluation.
Yeah?
There we go. Okay, hey, just wanted to see if you were able to get in touch with Samina earlier this morning regarding your home evaluation.
No. I
No?
didn't like the first contact, so I decided to let go.
Pausing. I'm pausing right there. I asked him if he got in touch with Samina this morning.
So you owe $1.83.
He had set up an appointment, right? Ashley sent him the initial message. Ashley asked if there was any sort of unique features. There was a conversation going back and forth between the bot and Lawrence, right? Lawrence, just like we have seen in many other conversations, for whatever reason, it missed an answer. It didn't understand something. Maybe they were going back and forth between the time. I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but the person is saying, I didn't like the original interaction. I'm no longer, ooh, that hurts, right? Because my immediate reaction as a normal human being is blaming someone else who is not me. In this case, it's very easy to blame AI. It sucks, right? It missed. I would have said this, me being a human, of course. Me being a human, reading a conversation, understanding social cues, I would have said this instead of whatever the robot said. Let's go back to the call and see what happens now with Lawrence.
I hear you. Okay. And hey, well, I also wanted to touch base regarding that first point of contact. We're trying out this new automation system and I'm checking out the messages. Like there was definitely no connect between the bot and the real conversation. I just wanted to follow up and we'll definitely get you those numbers out there. Are you guys planning on moving later this year, sometime next?
Let's see what he says. I pivoted from that. Right? We are trying out this new automation. I'm seeing that there was a disconnect from whatever he said, something about upgrades, and he has a couple of times later this week that we could go over. The bot missed that, right? Said something else, asked something else. I'm sorry that the bot missed it. It's a new automation we're trying out, but I still wanted to touch base with you, make sure we're getting you the numbers. And then what does he say?
At the end of the year.
He's thinking about selling
About
at the end
another
of the
year. Okay. And hey, just
No.
I heard another year. He said end of the year.
I said by the end of the year.
Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. So by the end of the year. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
If the price is right, by December, January.
The price is right. I don't know what that
January,
means.
if
What does
the
that mean
price
to
is
you,
right.
Lawrence?
right now, currently, what kind of a price do you have in mind for your price?
He laughs, of course, right? He thinks it's ridiculous. Well, aren't you the realtor? Aren't you supposed to know? Sure, I have a rough idea. I know what things are going for. But you said if the price is right. What does that mean to you, Lawrence? What number are you hoping?
You asking me that is how much homes be going for around here. That's what you got to base everything on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Yeah, but just wanted to see if there was anything. Yeah, just wanted to see if there was anything specific that you had worked on the home that might bring the value up. I'm seeing that last it was sold was back in 2014, October 28th, 2014. So a lot can change in almost a decade. Have you done any sort of work on the property?
Of course, yes.
Perfect. That's what I want to know.
What kind of work
Right?
have you done on it? Is this painting? Is it cabinets?
Yes, I got new keychain. I got cabinets. I got quartz cabinets. I got
So he's done a bunch of
bath-
stuff on his property.
Mm-hmm.
I'll skip it a little bit.
yeah, homes that compared to mine, I have gone for about $450.
Okay, now he's getting into his
Exactly.
numbers, what he wants to say.
So if you are thinking about anything less than $450, we just forget it because and then I have my deck is special. I have extras on my deck. I have two nice Japanese maple trees.
Again, he's talking about what's important to him, what he's done, what he thinks is relevant. I'll let him talk, just let him open up a little more. Some people can be chatterboxes, so it's also a way to pivot. That's something I need to work on. Kim, could you make me host, please?
Sir.
Where's
Up
Michelle?
with the
I'll text you.
area. Look, my house is going
Say again?
to sell as
You want a sandwich?
as soon as you anybody
Hey, John.
Subway.
Hey, John.
Text down what you want. Yeah, text down please. I'm on a phone thing.
I think Paula wants a sandwich as well. There you are.
Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Hey, John, if you could help me out with the microphone, please. Thank you. So again, Lawrence is going over everything that he thinks is relevant, right? He asked, again, he was a little surprised when I asked him, what's the right number for you? people can be very out of touch, right? And we're going to have a lot of those conversations. I just had this conversation earlier this week with someone else, not on the call. I can't remember their name right now, but someone else on here from us, where the biggest issue is, hey, people are still hanging on. They're clinging on to the prices at the peak, to the prices that we had in February, to the prices that we had last year, right? When they first bought. They want $1 million for the place and it's only worth $850. So again, it's important for me to know where this person currently stands in regards to, what does he think his home is going for, right? And if somebody needs something else before they sell. 3 more minutes on this one.
Enters my home, and then I changed my railings, and I have iron railings. 50. In fact, anybody comes.
Okay, and again, just to confirm the timeline, so you're looking towards the end of the year. Are you staying in the area, or are you looking to relocate?
Relocate.
Okay, out of Maryland completely. Gotcha. All right, where are you headed?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Gotcha.
I think I was probably taking notes or something.
Lawrence, I was taking notes about the whole call,
Yeah.
and I am sure of what you told me towards the end. Once somebody steps foot in your home, they're going to buy it. It's going to be sold. So here's what I want to do. My team leader is Samina Chaudhry. She is the person that handles all the numbers. I know she just sold a place over there near your neighborhood. You're on Carlsbad.
Yeah, Carlsbad. How much did she sell that for?
I did know, right? I did know that Samina just had a listing in the area. Was it a few blocks away? Was it a few neighborhoods away? I wasn't sure. I said something in the area, and let's see what happened after that.
I want to have her give you a call and share all the numbers with you. So is right now okay?
Mine is a 3-level townhouse with a garage.
3-level
My home
townhouse.
is special. Make sure you know it.
Sure
Yeah.
the one she sold did not have a garage. At the entrance, I have garage, a large foyer, and a huge den, which I use right now for my man cave.
The man cave. There you go.
And then you go upstairs, you have a huge kitchen with all modern appliances, GE appliances from the refrigerator to everything is the appliances, and then you go in the living room, then you go to the deck.
Nice.
So right now, I mean, the way you're describing it, Lawrence, it seems like everything has a space and you have enough space for everything that anyone could need. Here's what I'm doing right now. Let me just paint you the picture. I am sitting right across from Samina. So she's in the desk in front of me. I was able to give her some of the notes that we just spoke about, and I want her to go over some numbers with you. Lawrence, can you give us one moment just so I can have Samina call you from her direct line?
Okay.
Perfect. Let's do that. So give me one moment. I'm going to end this call, and let me just hand it over to Samina.
Okay.
So what we did right there, I was on a Zoom. I was on a one-on-one call with Samina, right? We were dialing some people, trying to get some people on the line. We got Lawrence on the line. We had a good conversation with Lawrence, right? Again, something that we're going to run into. Somebody's not going to like the bot. I saw a response the other day from a person coming into the system saying, nice automated response, right? Some people get turned off by bots. Some people get turned off by non-human interaction. And that is where calls really come into place. Just like Lawrence said, he said, hey, I didn't like the initial interaction. I'd rather work with someone else. I'm sorry. We're trying out this new automation system, but that's why I wanted to give you a call. I wanted to give you a call to make sure you're receiving exactly what you asked for, right? In this case, a conversation about his home. We had a conversation about whatever was important to him. I want to make sure the person opens up as much as they can. That way, whenever I want to ask for something, in this case, we transferred over to Samina. I said, Samina sitting in the desk right across from me. If we're ever on a one-on-one call doing any sort of these live sessions, I'll usually say that, right? I have Ivan sitting right across from me. Ivan just walked to the office. Actually, is it okay if I transfer the call over to him so we can go over the numbers in more detail? Perfect. Okay, here you go, Ivan. I'll hit live transfer. Ivan gets the call immediately. Once they're connected, I'm done, right? So those were a couple of calls. Any thoughts, any comments? Have you guys had similar conversations where the person is turned off by the bots, where the person said, I didn't sign up or I'm not interested? And what do the conversations usually look like or sound like for you guys?
Hey, Emmanuel, I just had one come through, I think it was last night, and I think when she received the first bot message, she says, no, it's okay, I'm not interested right away.
Yeah.
So how would you go about that? I was thinking of sending her a direct message first, or what would you suggest?
Yeah, good question. We'll also see that, right? People see a text message, feel like they need to engage into some very serious conversation about something, be committed immediately. So they'll be turned off because just like we saw with the first call, well, if you're already in the neighborhood and I'm not going to be a bother, right? People don't want to feel like they're a burden on anyone. Usually decent people don't like to feel that way on for anyone else, right? They don't like to bug. So for Paula, what do I recommend? The thing I would do in that situation, if somebody already said, no thanks, I'm not interested, he's not being honest. This person is not being honest, because why else would you share all this personal information, sign up, say yes, I consent to receiving SMS if you are not interested? So the only thing I would do is I would send her an email with and let me see if I can pull up an example. I'll show you guys right now on this call. Give me one moment while I pull it up. But I would recommend sending an email similar to, I know I can find it on Basecamp. Unfortunately, we moved away from Basecamp, and I don't remember if I saved this link. But I know she must be in here with Adele.
Yes, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do believe so. I've been just looking at the comment, and I do want to piggyback on everything we're going over, Emmanuel, just because while it is so true that some people do catch on, to the bot, you guys will not be able to believe this, but I literally saw a conversation with a lead basically crushing or hitting on Ashley. So no clue, no idea that it was a bot. Like, it was hilarious. The lead had said something like, "Oh, I thought it would be you coming over, but that's okay. Take care, girl. See you later, Ash." It was like, okay.
Wow.
So, yes, I need to find that so I can share a screenshot. But it's amazing. It's amazing what technology is doing nowadays, and sometimes that also might happen.
Yeah. I'm still looking for this email that I want to show you guys. All it is it's a video CMA. Paula, for you, that's all I really recommend. Remind me, what besides RCRM, what other CRM are you using? Are you with Remax? Remax. You guys are using KV Core, right?
KV Core. Yeah, but we've only kind of switched over not that long ago with it, so I'm not even fully implemented in that one. But yeah.
On our next one, I'm not too familiar with KV Core, but I know a couple of things in the system. On our next one-on-one, I can show you how to do the quick CMA. I don't know if you've ever used that feature, but within 30 seconds, it'll pull up a few different comps from whatever home you want to review, go over, run some numbers for. Within 30 seconds, you click on Quick CMA, it'll make a 3-4 slide presentation, and all you have to do is record a 2-minute call saying, "Hey Paula, I received your text message, but I still wanted to make sure you knew what the value of your home was. I hope this video is helpful." It says 2 minutes to record on Loom, on BombBomb. We know whenever they saw it. Whenever they see it, what I would do is I would just send them a text message back saying, "Paula, I sent you an email. Hope you received it well." I already know she saw it, right? So, "Paula, I sent you an email. Hope you received it well. I don't know, something like, I hope the information is helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know," because it feels like I'm not going out of my way to have them commit to something, right? People, for whatever reason, they don't like feeling like they're committing to something. It's always, but once we start talking to them, once we actually get in front of them, start building that relationship, have people open up to what they actually want to do, what they're trying to achieve. Lawrence is the perfect case. Lawrence, he's retiring, right? On the call he had with Samina, he opened up some more. Lawrence was retiring, and he wanted to buy a home in North Carolina. His son, I believe, was going to help him with the payment. The home was a little more expensive than what his was going for. His is fully paid off, but something, he needed guidance, right? Samina was able to guide him through whatever process. It's better selling first than buying, and that's the same conversation we're having, right? Barry Jenkins always says, "Curious teacher. Approach everyone as a curious teacher. I'm curious as to what your situation is, and there are things I know. There's things I stay up to date with in the market that can help you." All right, let me just go over some of these comments. I haven't been looking at the chat. Thank you so much for your lovely comment. Oh, glad it was helpful. Ivan as well. Thank you very much. Shaden, awesome. And you can always add, I always add this, right? I actually have a listing appointment. Again, even if I don't have it, but why do I say I have a listing appointment towards the end of this week? I have a listing appointment on Saturday, on Friday. I find most people don't answer the phone. If I send a video for me personally, I wouldn't open a video for someone I don't know. You know what, Terry? Yeah, you're still on the call, great. Terry, I feel that I know where you're coming from. It's not been my experience, right? I've sent out personally, I've sent out tons of these videos. The response rate I was seeing was maybe about a 20%, right? Not everyone is responding to the text, right? Not everyone's responding to the email when I send them that video, right? But I get notified when people play it, and I will send them a text right after, or I'll send them another email right after. Is everybody going to respond? No. Just like with the leads coming into the system, we're probably going to be talking to about 10% of them, right? From 100 leads coming in, we might have 10 productive conversations. From that, we might have 3 to 4 appointments, more or less. We need to check that out, Terry. And actually, now that Terry mentioned this, I want to go over one more thing. I wasn't able to find the link, but once I find it, I'll make sure to share it if I have it for next week. And I want to show you guys this. We have been talking more about this, but you guys should all have access to the lead tracking sheet. Is it cool if I share it with him, Karen?
Yeah, let's share it. And everybody on the call, whoever doesn't yet have it, just let us know. We're gonna be providing those in our check-in calls, in our one-on-one.
Terry, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to pull up yours since you are talking about not having conversations with the leads. So you guys, whenever you sign up to Mascula, you guys have access to this. You should have received it in, I believe, one of the emails, but if not, just like Karen said, we'll make sure you guys have it. This automatically fills out with all the leads, right? Whether they're a Taz, again, Taz, Bilal, Emmanuel, we know that these first 4 leads that came in, these were tests, right? These are not real. So there might be a few in there as tests. I highlighted those 4, but everyone else seems to be real. At least seems to be real, right? We want to get some fake people in there. But good. So it only seems like we have 4 tests. It says that we have a total of 206 leads. This is for Terry with us today on the call. So if we get rid of the first 4 people that were tests from us, we have 202, right? Let's call it 200 leads. From these 200 leads, at a 30% projection rate, right, we are hoping to have 61 phone consultations, 61 phone calls with actual people, right? These phone calls can be good calls, and what I usually call a good call is a productive conversation where we took something, where we learned something, where we moved the needle forward, right? Or they can be crappy calls where they hung up before we were even able to introduce ourselves. Whatever happened, right? Weren't so good. But we're looking to have about 61, 62 calls from actual people from these 200 leads that came in for Terry. From these people, we are projecting about 24 in-person appointments. Here's okay, your phone call. So for Terry specifically, do these numbers at all match up with what you have been having, with the conversation that you've had, with the people that you have visited? If it doesn't match up, where is it not matching up so we can find the gap? That we can see what's going on. Is it a number of leads coming in? Is it the number of phone calls that we're having? Is it the conversion from phone calls to in-person appointments, right? We can discuss this more on our one-on-one, as well as these appointments. From people that have actually set up appointments, these are all phone appointments. This one, Emmanuel Lopez, we'll get rid of this guy. And then we have a total of 10 phone appointments. Did we have those 10 phone appointments? And from these 10 phone appointments that we were supposed to have, did we have the two in-person appointments, right? So these numbers, everyone should have access to these numbers, and it's very important for us to go through them at least on a monthly basis, at the very least on a monthly basis. That's the way we track things over here at Mascula when it comes to the leads, when it comes to amount that we're spending. One moment, please, guys.
And I do want to highlight something super important for everyone. So the fact that these numbers are being automated, so I will send you this via email, Jacqueline. So for this to work, the ideal scenario is that we're booking with the system, we're using the CRM, we are using it to do our all other things. So that is why we do encourage that, just because everything is more ordered, everything is more, easily found. So it is important, that you book with the system. That way it's being transferred over to the sheet. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Any sort of interactions, I always encourage you guys to use the system. I don't like using the app. I use different CRMs for teams I've worked with. Follow Up Boss. We used KB Core for a little bit, Sync. And I always have access to the phone apps, but I personally find the desktop a lot easier for me to use. So yeah, whether you guys are using the app, whether you are using the desktop version, are the numbers making sense, right? Are we within KPIs? If we're not within KPIs, where is the gap? What do we need to improve? And yeah, we're almost running out of time, but I think this call is pretty good. And I'll hand the mic over to Rick right in a moment. I think the call is pretty good. We only reviewed 2 calls today, right? If you guys have conversations, if you guys have any sort of conversation that led to an appointment, that maybe leading to another call that, maybe didn't go anywhere, but we want to review it. It can be a little uncomfortable, right? Nobody likes hearing us speak. Sometimes we don't even like hearing ourselves be recorded, right? Whenever I go back and I listen to my calls, why did I pause so much? Why did I say, why did I say whatever I said? So it can be uncomfortable, but still, I encourage you guys to share those calls with us. Share them with Karen, share them with me. Let's share them on these calls so others can hear what kind of conversations we're having. Have others be encouraged to share their conversation. And I'll hand the microphone over to Rick.
Yeah, I just had one quick question. So last night I got a phone call, and so I picked it up. It was a local number. I picked it up, and then it said it beeped, and it told me I'm getting a call from a lead, so I went ahead and pressed pressed any number to connect. So I connected, and which was fine. A lady I'm assuming that's coming from the system, right? Because that's the first time I've got a call like that. And so, no, it's the second time. I got one before, but I didn't connect to the person. But so it turned out to be a lady, and so luckily I was in front of my screen, so I quickly looked up her name and said, "Oh yeah." And then what kind of surprised me was she said, "Well, I already gave you all the information. I don't know why you're calling me." And so I said, "Oh, let me just confirm. Oh yeah, probably you gave that to Ashley, my assistant, and it looks like, yeah, I've got all the information. This is the right address. Blah, blah. Yeah, okay, great. So I'll start working on your evaluation, and I'll get back to you within a day." And she says, "Okay, thank you." Boom. That was the end of the conversation. But I'm assuming that's coming from the system.
Now that you said, why are you calling me? I know what they're talking about. So Ashley, and this is one of the things from the workflow. If you need a reminder, we can go ahead and look into that again on our one-on-one. I'm glad you bring it up on this call. Ashley will drop a voicemail on day 2. If there was no response from day 1, on day 2, Ashley will drop a voicemail saying, what does it say? Something like, "Hi, this is Ashley. I cannot remember something else."
Yeah. There's still a lot of messages. So yeah, it's just like just following up, right? Making sure you got my message.
Yeah. So basically, a voicemail is something about that. Make sure we got you got the message I sent earlier. They will see it as a missed call, right? So that's what she's referring to. So she saw the missed call. She called you right back. It dialed the system number, right? The smart Twilio number, and then it forwarded over to yours. So I'm glad you were able to connect with someone. That was just last night. So let's hope this turns into a listing, and let us know. Let us know how this next conversation goes and what's going to happen in this first.
I got a hold of Jorge, by the way.
Perfect. What do you say?
He said he works on a farm, so he doesn't know when he's going to be home. So basically, I said, "Well, next time I'm in the area, I'll give you a call if you're home. I'll pop by for a short visit." He was fine. "Yeah, sure. So let's have a coffee." "Okay, great." So it's step by step.
And just to fill you guys in, on Tuesday, I believe it was, we met with Rick, and we were going over some of the leads. Rick just started last Monday, and just this week, I believe, he started getting leads into the system. Jorge is a person that came to the system, and I cannot remember what conversation we had. I remember Rick pulled out his Spanish, and he connected to where he was from, and a couple of other things, right? But I don't remember it going to...
Yeah, at first he was like, oh yeah, I'm not interested in telling." That's the first thing that came out of his mouth. And I was just kind of curious. I know the value of my house. I wanted to get another idea to compare it. And so anyway, so I picked up he had a Spanish accent.
Yeah.
Right. And so I said, "Don't deny it." And he goes, "Oh, I know what you're trying to say."
Yeah.
So then he's from El Salvador. So then I used my little bit of Spanish that I have to talk for a little bit. And so that kind of broke the wall down a bit, And then I found out he's got a daughter who's married, has a family. He's not thinking of moving right now, but he has a 3-level townhouse that's really big. And so I'm thinking, you got a 3-level townhouse and just you and your wife living in the house. That's a lot of work. So anyway, so bit by bit, we're kind of connecting, and he's open to grab coffee sometime and open for me to drop by the house when I'm in the area. He couldn't give me a time because of his work schedule. So anyway, so it's moving along that one.
And you know what? Rick knows this, and I'll remind everyone else that probably also already know this, right? The motivation. Or, hey, what is actually pushing you to even think about something? The beautiful home is a beautiful neighborhood. Why would you even consider something? No, well, we do love it. We've been here for, I think Jorge's actually been there. We lived at the property for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He bought in the early 2000s, and
I think he paid like 200 and something for it.
Yeah.
And now it's worth between 900 and $1 million. So I told him it's probably worth between 900 and $1 million, but I'd have to come take a look at it to get a more accurate estimate. And he goes, "Wow." He was like shocked. He was like, "Oh, it's that much? Oh, okay." So and that may be the thing to trigger. Maybe I should downsize. Anyway, we'll see. We'll keep working on him.
And I'm glad that you're bringing up this conversation, Rick, because again, sometimes people don't have the clarity. It's obvious to me, right, that prices have gone up in the last 20 years. It's obvious to us. It's difficult to believe, right? And we had this conversation actually internally at Mescula, because we do this every single week. We do everything we do every single week, right? We have onboarding shops. You guys have been on them. And it's a routine for us. So sometimes this is my bad. Sometimes I forget, hey, yeah, you go over it every single day, but there's new people joining with the system, with everything. If somebody needs help, if somebody needs guidance, tying it back to the leads, if people need guidance, what's going on? How is my property doing? What is the value of my property? We're here to help. We're here to help. We're here to provide value. That's it for time. So Patty, John, Paula, Rick, Jacqueline, if you guys have calls this week, if you guys have calls that you've had in the past, I know with Patty, we had a couple of good calls. We had one that was a difficult call. The person said she had cancer, and then Patty was going to meet with her in about a month, in a week, something like that. There's tons of conversations. What do they sound like? Let's share them here next Thursday.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing everyone next Thursday. Bring your calls, bring your questions, bring your objections. And I must say, we had a few people hop off this call, and I'm super happy to share with you guys that it is because at least Corey, at least Serena, I have to go to this listing appointment, the one we talked about last time, and all that good stuff. So super excited for all of you. Thank you all for joining and sticking around, and we will see you next time.
Yes. Yes. And guys, thank you so much for your hour.
Ciao.
Thank you very much, Rick, and everyone, really. Patty, Paula, John, Jackson. Pleasure having you on. Pleasure seeing you. We'll talk soon.